don't participate in your own oppression. But we drive on from there, guys, and the next headline is a mum and daughter who were dealing cannabis from their car in a village. Interestingly enough, like a cool old fucking family business to have going. Mother and daughter working together, selling a little bit of cannabis out of the car. Again, this is coming out of the UK. Where exactly in the UK was this? This is Sharon, 47, and Lauren, who is 25. They were pulled over by the cops, who found a stash of cannabis, and searches at their houses found more drugs and £1,150 in cash. Lauren claimed the cannabis was all for personal use, saying she bought a large quantity in one go because she had trouble getting hold of it. But messages on her phone showed she had been dealing to 33 individual customers, and that she had previously made a bulk 5-ounce purchase of the drug. So guys, remember to delete those messages, will you? Don't be making the job so easy for the cops, like, in fairness. But look, we can all get a bit lax. You never think that you're really going to get caught until you get caught, do you? But you have to be prepared. You always have to expect the unexpected. In Sharon's home, officers found 3 cannabis plants, a quality streets tin with cannabis in it, as well as a box, another tin, and 2 bags, all with cannabis in them. So she had a nice little few stashes of cannabis around the gaff. The pair admitted possessing cannabis with intent to supply, and a court heard the jobless Lauren, the mother herself, bought a BMW as a result of the scale of the drug dealing operation. So they were successful. Fair play to them, like, well done. It's not easy to be running a family business, like, but well done to them. It says a lot about the relationship, like, you know, they must have a good old relationship there going. It's a pity they weren't able to do this, like a mother and daughter cannabis business legitimately. I'm sure the community would love it, and you know, I'm sure they would maybe do well. They were probably good salespeople. Maybe they were nice to deal with. Like, you know, young Lauren there has a nice old smile. Her mother's not too happy, but young Lauren has a nice old smile. Like, maybe she has good old customer service. Like, and for the women out there as well, it's important to mention that it's hard to find a female cannabis dealer. Like, and here we have 2 of them. So like I applaud them, like, well done for, you know, going out there and representing the females in the game, because there's not enough of you out there doing it. And to do it together, like, I just think it's amazing. Like a mother and daughter, like, you know, in an illegal sense, man, that this would be portrayed in the media as a successful business. Like, oh, look at this dynamic duo, like a great fucking pairing, you know, mother and daughter working together, delivering cannabis. Like, it could have been maybe even a very female orientated cannabis boutique or something like that. Like, you know, I just don't know what way they would have brought it. Like, I don't know these individuals. I'm just kind of theorizing as to what might be possible. Like, but again, I just thought that was an interesting story there, that they come out of the UK. The Beth Crocker, defending Lauren, said she dealt to friends and associates who she knew on a social basis and had traded in a Mini to buy the BMW, which was not funded by supplying drugs. Again, the dirty coppers over there are trying to say, like, oh yeah, that was funded by drugs. Like, they're trying to get their greasy paws onto it, because if they can say she bought the BMW with the proceeds of crime, then they can take it and they can sell it and they can benefit from the proceeds of crime. Do you know what I mean? These cops, man, they're a dirty old bunch, in fairness. Like, so I hope they're not successful in doing that. And yeah, again, fair play to the 2 of them. Do you know how many people out there, guys, would buy an ounce or 2 and sort out a couple of friends? Like, I would imagine there's a good few. And, you know, over time that might grow. You might have, you know, before you know it, you might have started with helping out 4 or 5 of your friends and getting a bit of cannabis to them, and before you know it, like, you have like 10 or 20 like that you're kind of hooking up on maybe a regular basis. Like, that's kind of what happened to me at one stage in my life when I was at the younger years. But you know, I don't think I would have ever done it with my dad. Like, my dad would love nothing more than to have me up in the high chair with him at the pub. Like, but sadly, like, no, pints were not for me. It was the old cannabis herb. Lauren said that she claimed to be dealing to support her own habit, and again, that's something similar to kind of what happened with myself. I didn't really want to be able to. I wasn't able to really afford to be keep buying the cannabis, and it was just so easy to be able to just sell a few bits to my friends, get that little extra bit, and then I covered the cost of my own. Yeah, so I could believe that story also. And she also said that the cash was money she had saved on which belonged to her daughter, for whom she was the sole carer. Um, the judge at Warwick Crown Court, Mr. Recorder Freeman, the judge told Lauren, clearly you have quite a flourishing cannabis supply operation, although I accept it was to friends and acquaintances. She said, you deserve to go to prison for 12 months, but I'm not going to send you down because of two things. One is your daughter, who you were looking after, and the other is that very sensibly, you are not contesting where the prosecution put you. He told Sharon, clearly you've been quite a heavy user of cannabis over the years, but this was, as far as we know, your first contact with dealing. You were with your daughter who had brought you into it. He gave Lauren a year's suspended sentence and Sharon a 12-month community order, and both got rehab orders also. As they left the court, Lauren grinned at the photographers. So again, well done, Tom. Ladies, if you're out there, if you want to come on the podcast and share with me your experiences, like I would love to hear from you. I'd love to know what that was like. I'd love to know the whole backstory, like how long we kind of doing it together. Was it just a once off that just happened to catch you together and the media is portraying it wrong? Again, if anybody's out there knows them, if they want to get in touch, if they'd like to come on and have a conversation, I would love to be able to pick their brains, because I'm sure they have a story to be told, in fairness. It reminds me of the TV show Weeds. If I don't know if anybody's ever seen that out there, but I really enjoyed that TV show, where Nancy Botwin, the mother, unfortunately the husband died at the start of it, and spoiler if anybody hasn't, but look, that's the kind of intro into it, if you were to go check it out if you haven't seen it, but the mother becomes a single mother, and she gets into dealing cannabis then, to the local moms, the soccer moms and things like that. And it just grows from there then. It's really worth checking out if you haven't seen it. I think there's about maybe 8 or 9 seasons, and it is really well worth watching out, all of them. It gets a bit far-fetched a bit into it, but in fairness, it's a good show to watch. Yeah, I see John's checked it out. All right, Weeds is great. It used to be on Sky One. I think that's where it started. I kind of watched it for a while on that, and then I lost sight of it for a bit, and then I came back and just binge watched all the other seasons, and it was fucking great, man. Great old show. Um,